Brothers and sisters, I'm happy to be here in front of you to come back with another show. Come back to you with another show. And we're thankful, very thankful, to be talking about issues that are affecting the Black community. And we have to talk about this, issues that are affecting our community. Far too long that we've been concerned about issues that are affecting the white community. The white man doesn't need your help. Doesn't need your help. He's already taking care of his community. But we've got to take care of our community. And I just want to talk to you a little bit on our subject matter that we have for today. And while I want you to understand that you and I are in a situation today. If you're black, if you're a black person, that means if you got any drop of black in you. I have to say that because a lot of the brothers and sisters feel that they have just a little drop of white blood, that it eliminates them from the problems that we're facing today. Now, interesting enough, we're going to talk about Black community organizations that are against Black causes. So I've got some interesting things to talk about and some interesting people to talk about. And I expect this to be a slow takeoff because we have so much information to put out. But one of the things I do want to tell you is that we've got to get to the point where we're in agreement. All of us are in agreement with uniting in our communities, no matter what the religion is. We must be concerned about race. There's no sense in you and I uniting with white folk, and I have to say this because we're concerned about our community. There's no sense in you and I uniting with white folk and call ourselves trying to fix the situation that we find ourselves in this day and age. There's no sense in us doing that. And you don't have to be ashamed. I'm just telling you, because I know you already know it. You know these things already. I'm just reminding you of what you already know. You don't have to be worried that Black people in the Black community will be the main force to turn against you in this day and age, because it is more popular to be politically correct than to be an example or an instrument of God and an instrument of change in the Black community. And I submit to you this evening, the reason that many of us are challenged in the work we have to do in the Black community, and the reason that you and I have such a hard road to hoe in the Black community, is that you've got Black people that are keeping us in a segregated mindset, keeping us in an integrated mindset, keeping us in a socialistic mindset, and many of them, even though they know that these philosophies have done nothing for them, they already know it. Even though they know that, they continue to flirt with the ignorance of integration. They continue to flirt with the idea of a white Jesus coming to save you. Jesus is not coming to save you. Certainly not in the way that you believe that he's coming to save you, brothers and sisters. He won't be coming in that way. He won't be coming in that way. Not the way you think. Not the way you think that he's coming to save you. He's not going to do that. The real spirit of Jesus will have you to stand amid adversity. And I'm trying to tell you something that's going to save your life. Trying to tell you something that will truly liberate your mind and truly liberate your soul. That's what I'm trying to put before you this evening. Something that will deliver you if you'll listen. I mean, everywhere you look, you got black people trying to sell this idea and this notion of integration and interracial marriages. I mean, the whole thing is just really sickening. The whole thing is sickening. The fact that they will do this, the fact that they'll sell their soul for just a morsel of what they feel wealth is. You know the white man is never going to give you the kind of money he has. You should already know it. You should know that. You wonder why I keep saying the white man, because I know that it's the white man behind the black hand, and it's the white man behind the black faces. I already know that. I'm just waiting for you to catch up. I'm waiting for many of you to catch up. And many of us are self-sabotagers of our own community and our own community advancement. Many of us, many among us, maybe not you and I in particular, but many among us are self-sabotaging to the black community. And it's very, very sad. It's very, 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 very sad that we can open our eyes, recognize what's against us, so that we can stand up and be the quintessential change that is needed in the 21st century for the black community. Is that right or wrong? We have to be the agents of our own change. Any organization within the black community that is not talking black at this late date, you should steer clear. And there are just a few communities that I want to, rather organizations within the community that I want to talk about. Just a few. First, we have to talk about the black church. We got to talk about the black church. What is the black church today? What does black leadership look like? We have to be concerned about what black leadership look like today. We failed in our leadership to save the black community, no matter what the religion is. We're not doing the work. You have some out there that are working. Some have not stopped working, but as a whole, as a process of the design of salvation and mission to the lost sheep, whether that be Christian, whether it be Muslim, whether it be Baha'i faith, whether it be Zoroastrian, or those of you that even think that you're atheist. If you're black and you're not concentrating on uniting different facets in the black organization, in the black community, you are working against the progress that could transform the black community, and you are considered an enemy organization. I just want to tell you, because I know a lot of you, you have your white friends, excuse me, for explaining this way, but you have your white friends, and you believe that white man is different than the other white people. See, because you're not thinking like a revolutionary, and that's your problem, that you're not thinking like a revolutionary, because if you were, you realize that the white man is a danger to every cause that you have. I don't care how nice and how polite he is, how friendly you say this white man is. He may be a friend, but to be a friend and be friendly are two different things. He might be friendly to you, but that doesn't mean that he's your friend. That doesn't mean that he's your friend. I have to tell you that, because I feel that if I don't tell you, that I've wronged you. And if you don't know, then you become a victim of society rather than a victor in society. And I want to make you a victor. I want to make you a victor in society. So you have to, first thing we got to do is support our black organizations. Support your black organizations. Stop running around here talking about the white man and what he does for you. He's not doing anything for you that you can't do for yourselves. As a matter of fact, the worst thing to see, and I have to tell you, I just gotta, the worst thing to see is a black man depending on a white man for his survival. It's the worst thing to see. The absolute worst thing to see. It's the worst thing to see. But that is the problem with most of you. That is the problem. You sit around, and I'm going to use the Democratic Party for instance. There are others. There's no exception among white organizations. No exception, because they're all against you. All of them are against you. You can't name me one white organization that isn't against you. You can't. Because if they were for you, then you and I wouldn't be catching the hell that we're catching today. Right? We wouldn't be catching it. And we don't have enough sense to band together. Right? We should be banding together. We should be banding together as family. We should be banding together as black people. You and I should be banding together. And if we're not banding together, then what does that make us? Make us an enemy to black unity in the black community. It makes us an enemy to progress. There's nothing worse. No, not a one. Nothing worse than seeing a black man busy working outside of and against his community. We are separated. That's nothing new. I know you hear it all the time. That's nothing new. But we're separated. And brothers and sisters, we're separated not because we at one time, and I have to say this, at one time, we could blame the white man for that separation. At one time. But we can't blame him today. Can't blame him today. At one time, we knew he had laws to keep us separated. We couldn't even meet on the street corners. Could never find more than 3 of us together. And if it was 3, that was 3 too many together. And if it was 2, that was 2 too many together. Because the white man didn't want to see you together because he felt that you were conspiring. And actually, those that run the government and on city levels are making rules in Israel about you because you're considered the #1 threat in America. If you don't believe it, and the #1 global threat. If you don't believe it, all you have to do is research. You know, we have the internet. And with us having the internet, we don't even have to have a schedule to research information that is already out there. All we have to do is click, point and click. You point and click on your phone, point and click on your notebook, your laptop. You can pull up information. And the information that you find will really, really be amazing. Really amazing information. But I'll save you one click because everything on the internet, right? Everything that's out there doesn't belong to anyone. You know, well, it may belong to them through an area of patent, but it doesn't belong to them in a sense that it's made public. And once it's made public, then you can put it out or study it for the benefits of reshaping your community. But very few of us, very few of us will study the internet for any kind of positive cause. And when we join social media, we join it to take off our clothing, show our naked bodies, to make silly videos because you're only interested in hits. I mean, it's almost like a drug. Social media is almost like a drug. And in my opinion, if not used correctly, can be very damaging to our community and to our children. And and I asked this question. I have to ask. Why was it given to us? And would the enemy have given? Excuse me. Would the enemy have given the internet to us if it was for our benefit? Excuse me. I know you say he has to make money, and I understand that. But in the distance of it all, what was his purpose for turning the internet over to us if it wasn't to distract us from what is actually going on in the world today? Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Nose is running a bit. I know you understand. What was his purpose? Because we have children now that are addicted to these iPads, telephones, right? Cell phones. They are literally addicted to the place that if you take it from them. I was watching a news show on the web about children that were having a fit. Believe it was on YouTube. They were literally having a fit because their parents were taking away their mobile devices. Literally having a fit. Kids that are 3 and 4 years old, the electronic equipment is babysitting them because the black community has lost its way, and black community organizations today are against the black cause. What is your cause? Do you even know what your cause is, brother and sister? Do you even know why you're here? You know what your cause is and why you're here? What is your purpose in the black community? This has to be asked. Because many of you don't know. You've lost your way. You lost your way. And those of us that have been blessed with the burden, I'll say blessed, even though you're all curses. You're all curses for doing the work of God. Those of us that have the weight of the black community's interest on our shoulders often stand out. We don't ask for anything because we're going to do the work anyway. But the organization within the black community that don't support you, you'll fill them up. What organization are these? White organizations within the black community. You point to me what organization it is, tell me what color it is, and I'll tell you that it is anti-black. You got to understand that. You're in a nation that was made for white people, for the benefit of white people. That's it. The Constitution was made for white people, for the benefits of white people. Any organization under the Constitution, whether it have black people in it or not, as long as it's a white organization with the white man in it, everything in that quote unquote black or colorful organization or Black Lives Matter organization or whatever organization, the HBCUs that are run by white people, if the white man is there, the focus and the central duty of that organization is to eradicate black people. You got to understand that. You got black colleges today that are against black progress. Because the minute that man put that money in your hand, right? He owns you. He bought you. The minute that he put the money in your hand, the minute that he takes over your university, Lincoln University is one example of that. What's the lady's name? Bailey. Dr. Bailey got killed and was harassed. I say got killed. I know who's saying, well, she committed suicide. Listen to me for a minute. Listen to me. There are psychological homicides that happen against black people. It's been happening for years. If you notice somebody is mentally weak, the words you speak can be complicit to causing them to commit suicide, then that is a homicide in the second degree. So it's a homicide, suicide done and committed. It had a recipient, and it also had a culprit. You have to understand that. But the man got away with it because he's white. And you had black people that would not come to this sister's aid or rescue because they were worried about losing their job. Here you are at a black university, a HBCU, with a white president. Tell you, brothers and sisters, we lost our way. And the only way that this white man could get there is that he was elected to come in by a board. And I hesitate to say it, but it's too many white folks and black people organization. Too many white folks in black people's organizations. Just too many. One is too many. Two is too many. And so we've got to keep our organizations black. Any organization in the black community that is pepperdized, that is cream filled, Oreo and cream filled, it's just not the right organization for the black community. We need black people concerned about the black community. You have to be black to be in the organization. You think the white man is going to let you come to his organization? Our problem is that we let the white man come in our churches. We let the white man come in our temple. We let the white man come in our homes, in our relationships, on our jobs. You can have your own independent job, right? We're doing something great for the black community, and you'll bring the white man in. And that's a Negro that's out of his mind. I said that's a Negro that's out of his mind. And what do I mean by that? When I say Negro, I mean Negro pen. You know what I mean. A Negro pen. You're black on the outside, right? But Oreo cream filled on the inside. Whiter than snow and whiter than white Jesus on the inside. Huh? Yeah, that's an abnormality. That's an abnormality. That's a black person that's ready to be gobbled up from every sugar fanatic in the community. And that's what they do. They'll put a black man or black woman in the community, make them appear successful to you so they can get you off course, because many of you are not convicted. You're just doing it for money. Not convicted. And you just like the airtime. You like the airtime. That's why a lot of people have shows. I tell you, I think the internet is of great benefit. I really do. But on the other hand, you have so many people that are not using it for the correct purpose. Because I don't think that this great tool that God allowed a black man from Nigeria to create, because he created the internet. It's a black man from Nigeria. All you got to do is look it up. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to look it up so you'll know. When this black man created the internet, he was actually trying to create something whereas we will be able to meet, greet, and talk to individuals from the comforts of our home. And also a business model where we'd be able to integrate ideas to make our community better. Now you got Negroes on there that are literally showing out. I mean, they're on their butt naked, showing their asses, both psychologically and physically. And nothing is done. Nothing, absolutely nothing is done to correct the problems of the black community because they're too busy and too ignorant to put anything on the internet that matters. You are a problem to the black community. Your organization, not just a physical organization as in a business concept, but a mental concept, mental organization. In other words, what you could be doing positive to affect your community, you have organized, right? And organized yourself in a way to be a detriment to your community, right? We're talking about organizations that are bad for the black community. You and your organization is bad for the black community. The way that you organize yourself is bad for the black community. You could be saying something intelligent. Instead, you're ripping down black men, ripping down black women, right? You're not trying to build them up, not giving them a pep talk. This is a pep talk tonight because I'm not tearing anybody down. But you get on there and you tear down the black man, black woman. You get on there and you show your body butt naked. You know, you got virtual prostitutes. I think it's the first time in history that you have virtual prostitutes on the web. First time in history. We never had it before. As soon as they upgraded Facebook, seemed like it upgraded your ignorance. And women are literally standing on the web naked. I mean, literally naked. Nothing to the imagination. Just 100% foolish. And you got black men on the web that are doing the same thing. Some of them are on there wearing long t-shirts. Pants are all the way down. Sagging or what have you. Men that got dreadlocks that flow like women. I haven't seen so many pretty men in my life. That's a fact. And you use the internet for vain, ignorant causes, vain glory. It's a shame. At a time when we should be getting together. Brothers and sisters, we should be getting together. We should be getting together today. We should be organizing every day to make sure that our communities are safe for our children. Every day we should be organizing, but we're not doing it because many of us are distracted by the internet. Distracted, completely distracted. So if you're not organizing or if you don't have an organization that is there to build a black community, and I mean the first rule of that organization is that it needs to be all black. And you shouldn't have to feel bad that you want the organization to be all black. The white man doesn't get mad. It won't let you join the Ku Klux Klan. Is that right? Is that right or wrong? He don't want you to join the Ku Klux Klan because if he got you in there, his goose is cooked. He's secretive. You got to learn how to be secretive yourself. White people are going to take care of themselves. You have to understand, and I pray, my desire and my prayer is that you do understand. And that's why we pray the Muslim prayer. Right? We say to the beneficent, right? To the merciful, to the only wise God of the heavens and the earth, we bear witness that there's only one God and Muhammad is his messenger. Some say Muhammad is his messenger too, however you want to put it, right? We ask him to direct us, guide us on the right path, right? A path of honorability, a path that's going to lead us to do the work of God, right? Not a path that's going to have us to work against God, but a path that's going to have us working for God, that we're on God's side. Brothers and sisters, we got to get on God's side so that God is on our side. The reason that we don't have success is that we're not on God's side. We've got to get on God's side so that God will get on our side, so that we could do the work that's needed in the community. We need parenting in the community. We need parenting class. That's an organization that's for the black community, a black parent, not the white parent. How's a white person going to tell you how to raise your kids when it was you during slavery that were educating their children, organizing their children, and giving their children suck? When white women didn't want to deal with their own babies, and many white women were killing their babies when they were born on the plantation, and not to mention that many of those babies were black, because that buck on the plantation was having his way when master went out of the country or went out of the state because he was on there seeing another man. Oh yes, it's nothing new. Homosexuality comes from the white man, so it's nothing new. You think you're the first one to bring an integrated baby within the nation when the white woman has been after the black man ever since John Paul Jones joined the Navy. And prior to that, when Mansa Musa went into France, you find out that when he went there, the white woman was ready for the black man because the French man was involved in dealing with other French men. He didn't want a woman, he wanted a man. Why do you think that you have so much homosexuality, so much lesbianism, and the LGBTQMA is so large now? Why do you think it's so large? It's large, brothers and sisters, because homosexuality, gay, lesbianism is nothing new. They used to do it in Germany. But it's not good for us. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Is that right? Not good for us. Not good for black people. But you have so many blacks that want to assimilate. And we talk about Moses, right? Moses was delivering the people out of Egypt under a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. In other words, this was a white man. Right? God told him, go get my people. Let my people go. He was letting the monarchs of Africa say, if you want to deal with this devil, deal with these heathens, get my people from under your tutelage and let them go. I'll bring them to promised land, their own promised land. God was not in agreement. There's some now that are saying, well, he's misquoting the Bible now. I'm not misquoting the Bible. As a matter of fact, I studied religion. If you don't know anything else, just know that, and also know that if you don't do something to protect your community, no one else will. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to be racist. I don't believe in racism. I don't support any tenets of racism. I never have. But the white man is so used. He's used to it. He's used to it. He's used to black people bucking down. Boss, you're right, boss. Boss, you're right. We can't be doing that. I want to tell you a story that I heard. Excuse me. It's a story that I heard that when the bus boycott of Montgomery was taking place, there was some quote unquote good whites. I just want to tell you that was supposedly helping the Montgomery bus boycott. They said, we won't pay for the bus because it's all about money. You got to understand that. If we can't ride on the bus in decency, first come, first served basis, we're not going to ride the bus. So they broke the bus company because they refused to pay money as basically second-class citizens. Now, in this boycott, the white man was studying the black man. And we're talking about between the areas of 1953 to 1963. You have to understand that, because it would have been 10 years in between the Montgomery bus boycott and the March on Washington. I want you to understand this. You have to understand it. One started in August, between August and December of 1953, and had its movement all the way from 53 to 55, and then they concentrated on school desegregation, right? Because buses handle interstate travel. Is that right or wrong? I'm trying to tell you how all this stuff connects, if you'll listen to me. So they said through the buses pass through the interstate. So we're going to ride the bus, sitting beside one another, white and black, and it's going to go all over the state. So wherever the bus travel, we can integrate. And it seemed like a good idea, right? Right? Because black and white people are sitting beside one another. A lot of them are doing a lot of other stuff. Some of them just want to be beside somebody white, right? Take a picture. No different than somebody taking a picture with their dog. Is that right or wrong? It's no different than somebody taking a picture with their dog. Just to say I was there. And what you need to understand is the white man wasn't standing with the bus boycott because he believed in it, right? It was successful because you stopped paying your money. You met together as black people in the community. There's no better threat than when black people get together. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When the man saw you were getting together, you weren't going to ride that bus, and you started paying other people who had cars to take you where you needed to go, and you started carpooling, that took millions of dollars away from the bus union. See, because the bus union needs you. You riding the bus because many of you couldn't afford cars. You got to see how that worked. So the best threat that you can give the white man, you don't even have to march down the street. You don't even have to march down the street. On Sunday morning, when you go into a black church, and that's an all-black church, the white man is scared to death. When you meet in the black community, and you're having a meeting, and the white man is not invited, he's scared to death. And you should have organizations where the white man cannot get in. You should have that. This may sound like hate. Not hate. It's not hate. If you got integrated churches in the black community, that's an organization that's against black progress. You have to understand that. It's against black progress. It's against black progress. Not for it, it's against. Am I telling you not to let the white man in? Of course I am. Why should you let the white man into your church where you're trying to speak the edification of your own people? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't see how that is helpful to you, to your organization. I don't see it as relevant. I don't see it. So we've got to get to the place where we're satisfied with meeting together as one people, hearing with one ear, speaking with one mouth, and leaning toward one goal. And we have to be righteous when we do it. We got to be righteous when we do it. Nothing will ever help you or come to you if you don't have the right spirit. Your purpose is to get the black community. Right? That's your purpose. Get the black community and to make it safe for black people. Right now, you're not safe. There's something coming against us, black man and black woman in America. There's something coming against us. Excuse me. And if we're not ready, it's going to take us out. They're trying to do it with diseases, right? That's the health organization, the CDC, the health department. Isn't that right? They'll tell you the flu is coming around. They'll tell you your baby needs its checkup shots. It's not a hospital telling you that. It's a health organization telling you that, right? The health department is telling you that. And the hospital is not good either. Is that right? It's the worst thing for black men and black women. All you have to do is think about Tuskegee. You know about Tuskegee. You know what experiments they tried on black people. And I find something strange. Something strange. Right? We need to trust our government. We have to understand that we have to have some trust for our government. We have to be able to trust it. We got to be able to trust it. We can't do it unless we're able to trust one another. Our fight is against racism, right? The black man is fighting against racism. Isn't that right? It's fighting against racism. But if our country is not fighting for us, right? If they're not fighting for us, is the country for us or against us? That's the question. If our country is not fighting for us, are they for us or against us? That's the question. We have so much work to do. You and I have so much work to do, brothers and sisters. We got to work. We got to work. You can't sell out anymore. Matter of fact, it's time out for selling out. We can't sell out anymore. Work for us to do. So much work. The question is, the organization that you're a part of, will it be a benefit to the black community? I think that the black church, black religious organizations, independent black organizations are the best organizations for the black community. That's in my opinion. That's in my opinion. That's my opinion. And if the integration has failed, you might as well say that, whether you want to accept it or not, you might as well say it. Integration has failed. It's done for. It's over. It's done with. Integration has failed. We have to come together in the black community to recreate our own community, recreate our own answers within our community. You and I have to come together and answer that. You and I have to come together. The white man can't do it for you. What does he look like coming out of his community, trying to fix your community, and he's not from your community? And not only that, but he's white. He's not black. He's not black. It makes no sense. Makes no sense, brothers and sisters. I'm asking you to be intelligent enough to help your community. That's what you need to do. And if you can't help me, don't stop me. I remember the old folks used to have a song for everybody who's over the age of 34. The old folks used to have a song, if you can't help me, please don't stop me. Say, I'm about to move to a better home. Or if you can't help me, please don't stop me. I've got to move. I've got to get on. And you're going to have black people, just like it was during the time of Moses, when the children of Israel were coming out of bondage. We say, I'm using that term lightly, because when they were in bondage, I'm sure there was amalgamation, there was racial mixing and all of that. But the mindset of those that have been taught by Moses is that God said, let his people go, and I will bring you to a land that is flowing with milk and honey. So many opportunities that you won't be able to fail, I guess that's what we could say, in setting up in this new community, this new land, this place of prosperity that is flowing with milk and honey. Come unto me, all you who are laden, right, and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. In other words, I'm going to take you into a place where the sky is the limit on what you can do to survive, because we're going to support one another when we get there. We're going to be fruitful and multiply, and we're going to keep God in the forefront. Isn't that right? And if I keep God in the forefront, right, and love my neighbor as myself, then I've kept the entire law. Not only kept the Decalogue or the 10 Commandments, I have kept the entire law. The question for you tonight, brothers and sisters, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to keep selling out? Will you be the organization that is against black progress in the black community? Or will you be an answer to the problems that we face in the black community? Because it's going to take every black man, every black woman, every black boy, and every black girl. It's going to take black people to do this. You can't do it without black people. There's no way. You're in the black community. You need black people to make it go. There's no way that you can do it without black people in the black community. Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. You're going to have black people. You need black people to help this thing work so that you can change the black community. We have jobs all around us, but very few of our people are educating and re-educating themselves or upgrading their intelligence or their general readiness educationally to be able to work those jobs or to be able to create jobs within your own community. It's time out for us getting degrees and going over there supplying jobs, but we need to supply jobs within our own community, create businesses within our own community. We've got to do that. that would keep their children out of our community. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? I'm not saying anything's wrong with integration. The only thing I am saying is that America isn't practicing integration. They speak integration, but they practice segregation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against anyone. I don't hate anyone. Don't have hate in my heart for anyone. I just don't like a hypocrite. I just want the truth to be done. I want the truth to be spoken, to be lived. That's all. That's all. Let's be what we need to be. Other than that, then I'll call a spade if I have to. I can say today that a lot of black organizations that should be helping the black community, including the church. As a matter of fact, the black church is at the top of that list. The black church is at the top of the list. Black churches and black people have got to get busy saving our community. From the pulpit to the pew, he's got to save the black community. From the pulpit to the door, he's got to save the black community. From the pulpit to the parking lot, he's got to save the black community. He has to have a message that's going to save the black community. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I pray that God bless this so that it'll touch you in the right way. That's my desire, my prayer. I want you to be touched in the right way. That's my desire and my prayer for you. That God will be able to deliver you in the pardon of your misgiving, your trespassing, your bad decisions. That God will be able to not only forgive you, but to restore you. Brothers and sisters, we need to be restored today in the black community. We have no purpose and it's totally invisible. We have literally dwindled down so much to such a place that we count a victory in progress. For example, as Beyonce breaking into country music. And my only problem with that is this. I don't mind her singing country music. She can do what she wants. She's an artist. But country music needs no integration. She could take that time building up a black school charter education system that would teach the art and sciences of singing and music. She could take this time to be a good mother. No good mother walks around naked, looking like a whore. No. No mother walks around doing that. A black mother was a symbol of respect at one time. We don't have that now, brothers and sisters. We got whores on the divorced housewives of Atlanta, the Jersey Shore. We've got, you name it. What's the show that New York was on? There in New York. What show was she on? We have these kinds of shows that present women that can't even cook. The only thing they can do is cosmetically present themselves and get cosmetic changes to make this world love them. So it's even to see a mother, a black mother, is not respectable. It used to be. It used to be. But it's not respectable anymore. This is organization. In other words, how we're organized, how our minds are organized and reprogrammed to destroy the black community. We don't have to wait on the white man to do it. As a matter of fact, I'm not on here to talk about the white man. I'm on here to talk about you. You Negroes. They keep doing this. They keep doing this. Destroying the black community. For a little money. The way they attack Monique. Isn't that right? They're trying to keep their good graces with the man. Right? I don't want that white man mad at me. You get that white man mad at me and I won't get no money. Monique knew better than what she was doing. Here this sister is, standing up for black artists, standing up for her own rights and trying to enjoy her family. Oprah Winfrey, one of the biggest frauds in the movie business, and Tyler Perry, one of the biggest homosexuals in the movie business. I said it, yeah, because that's what he is. Who will pay men to let him rape them during the soirees and the soirees and the festivals and a lot of the galas. He's got men on his bill. The story is coming out. Men on his pay bill that would do anything to be a part of the studio, which they get a salary of, I believe it's $600,000 a year. And the other thing that he does is to keep him on the payroll so that he can manipulate, right, and masturbate. That's correct. Manipulate and masturbate them, right? Not because they're great actors. This is abuse. This is abuse. We got religious leaders like T.D. Jakes. This is an organization that are against the black community. That's what we're talking about. Organizations that are against the black community. T.D. Jakes, another in the closet homosexual, a distraction, and a professional liar. A professional liar as it relates to salvation and the teachings of the true Jesus Christ. The true Jesus, black Jesus, came to deliver you and I. You know I had to say it. You know I had to say it. He came to deliver us from this bondage of sin and oppression. Who put you in this bondage? You know who put us in here. If I don't say another word, you already know who put us in this bondage, right? And we suffer every day. Every day we suffer, and we're in this bondage every day, right? When God said you have not because you ask not, isn't that right? All we have to do is get together, brothers and sisters. That's all we have to do, and that's what this is about. Is that right? About us getting together and having a fireside chat about what we must do to save our community. That's all it is. I'm not going to hold you. We have our exit, right? We have our exit music. I'm not going to hold you. I just want to push those things over to you. I just wanted to push it over to you. We've got to get to the place in this day. You and I have to get to the place where we're willing to stand, right, for truth, stand for justice, and to do the will of God. We've got to get to that place. Brothers and sisters, if we're not there at that place, we need to get there to that place. I know that God is able. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that God, a holy and righteous God, is able to deliver us in this time. Now, He only delivers you if you want to be delivered. And the first thing you got to have in deliverance, you got to deliver your mind. Yeah, you got to deliver your mind. You're in chains right now. You're in chains right now. And that's the truth. Right? But a sick man or a sick woman got to believe that they're in need of help. You got to believe that you're in need of help. You're in need of help today. You got to believe it, though. If you don't believe that you're in need of help, there's nothing anybody can do to save you. If you don't believe you need help. I don't know about you, but I need help. Every second, every minute, every hour of the day, I'm praying to Allah God. I am praying literally to Allah God that He will deliver us in this day and time. And that's all right. And only He can deliver us in this day and time. So I'm so very thankful, brothers and sisters, to come before you. I pray that this video, I pray that it stays on. I really do. I pray that it stays on because you know how the devil gets. You know how he gets. right? So I pray that this video stays on. I really do. They close these videos down when they feel like that you're being too effective. They'll close them down. But I pray, my desire, my prayer is that it stays on so that our people will be able to hear the truth, be able to review the truth, and be able to ask the question, what must I do to be saved? Because only God can save us in this difficult time that we're in. Only God can do it. And I'm so glad that God is alive today. He's alive and well, brothers and sisters. Our God, who sits high and looks low, who see the things that we're going through and has yet set a place of deliverance for us. That kind of God. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful in this day and age. So my desire, my prayer, brothers and sisters, that you would get an urgency to be willing to do the work of God. We need an urgency. You got to be urgent. You got to be urgent. You got to have desire to fulfill this gift. You got to have desire to fulfill this gift. God has prepared you in this day to be able to hear the word and to have direction. Not only that, but he gave you an even better way to put out the word. We have the internet, we have cable, we have Wi-Fi. There's nothing left to the imagination of man, right, when it comes to the work that God has for us to do and the way that he has set, or rather provided for us to be able to complete that work. God has already done it. He's just trying to get you to get on his side. We got to get on God's side so that God will be on our side. That's all we're saying, brothers and sisters. We got to get on God's side. God wants you on his side. Finally, brothers and sisters, those of you that are working, I ask you to be encouraged. Be encouraged. Don't be afraid. Those of you that are doing the work, you got a lot of people out there that are not doing anything. I'm not talking to them because I already know that they're going to do what they want to do anyway. They're going to do what's good for them. They don't care anything about God. They don't care anything about God. They're going to do what's good for them. And I already know it. I know it. I just want you to know it. I want you to know it, but I don't want you to be deterred from doing the work of God. That's all. I don't want you to be deterred from doing God's work. Because we have a mighty work to do in this time. And only we can do it. It has to be black organizations organized for the benefit of black people. When the white man made the Constitution, he made the Constitution for whites and for the benefit of whites. And we have to understand that. Constitution wasn't made for you. That's why you have no place to go. The only place that you can go is in the arms of God. So that God can put something in your mind. So that God can put something in your heart. So that God can find work that'll keep your hands busy and your feet busy. Why? You'll be so busy loving, brothers and sisters, you won't even have a chance to hate one another. Because you'll be too busy loving one another. That's the kind of God that we have in front of us. This is the kind of God that will deliver us in this period of time. We need that God. The God that is concerned about the entire soul of every man. We need that kind of God. That is the kind of God that will help deliver us in this day and time. That God. That is the kind of God that we need. The kind of God that will take us through our trials, our tribulations, and bring us out on the other side. Though we be burned in fire, will come out like true pure gold or polished brass, clean from the power and the salvation of God that can only be born through persecution. Most of your persecution that you'll receive, brothers and sisters, is going to come from brothers and sisters like you. It's going to come from the people that you know. It won't come from the people that you don't know. but it's going to come from the people that you know. So I thank you for this time, brothers and sisters, and ask that God will continue to bless you in all that you do. I say unto you, if I didn't say it earlier in opening, I say it to you now, peace be unto you. I love you. Assalamu alaikum.